Aloha race fans here and welcome along to Hawaii. 14 corners showcase this notorious road course, and for many that are on a nostalgia trip, this is reminiscent of Port Skyline, and it basically is. For those that have tuned into the Sony Cup series in the past in terms of the FBRL, it was a track down in Season 5, and now we've returned to the very familiar circuit. Now, we have 14 drivers entered into this LCQ. Julio Caesar will start row 1, Garrett Sidner on his outside. Row 2, Daniel Day and Carter Friesen. Row 3 starts Gatlin Downey and Stratus DePire. Row 4, Josh Crash and Bobo Jones, which then you get row 5 of Kyle Keith and Shade Eves. Patrick Smith and Alexa Lujan consist of row 6, and then our final row with the Fitzwater Racing Team cars of Lars Van Schaik and Sean Ard. 6 laps are going to be the distance here for tonight's LCQ, so a very quick race should be set in stone. Top 12 will make it in based on where they finish, obviously. Everybody qualified to make sure they know where they will start. It is a rolling start after all, compared to the main event's standing start, so keep that in mind. Pit stops are also not necessary in this race. You don't need a pit whatsoever, so it's basically just 6 laps of going full out in order to make it to the event. Other than that, let's move over to trackside to see the action commence. Cars are beginning to roll here in Hawaii. Julio Caesar, Garrett Sidner, your front row. These two Dodges looking to make a statement here. And really, this LCQ could really bring that statement for some of these drivers to show that they've got what it takes to make it into the main show. 12 drivers will make it, 2 will not. Pace car is off and down pit road, and the field getting set to go green. The crowd on their feet, a 6-lap dash to the finish, and the green flag is going to wave. We're racing here in Hawaii. And already Daniel Day making a move to the inside in turn 1, looking for the race lead. But Julio Caesar fends him off, had the high ground off the first corner. And down the straightaway they're gonna go. Gatlin Downey looking for the 3rd spot with Josh Crash on the back bumper of the 55. In a turn 2 they're gonna go. A lot of drivers side by side towards the interlude-like section. And Gatlin Downey is going to drive a little bit wide, and that allows Josh Crash to pounce his way up to the 4th spot. But Downey trying to fight back on the inside line, but these lines inverse so constantly here in Hawaii. Daniel Day in the back bumper of Julio Caesar. They're trying to run away from the rest of the field, while the battle into the mid-pack going at it. Stratus DePire, Bobo Jones, Patrick Smith, and several others right behind him, all duking it out. And Bobo just trying to find a move to the inside line. Patrick Smith roared past Stratus DePire. Lars Van Schaik on the move in the 33, and as well as Sean Ard. So right now, it's Shade Eves and Alexa Lujan in danger of missing the show, and the two of them made contact. Both of them saved it and kept on going, and that could have been catastrophic for both these drivers in terms of trying to make it into the main event. But the battle for 11th is on. Lars Van Schaik pulling away, but Sean Ard clears Bobo Jones, and Patrick Smith now looking underneath Kyle Keith, sends it down on the inside, and here comes the Dollar General machine. No underestimating Patrick Smith here in that 29, but backed off there. Kyle Keith keeps the advantage and will have the high ground there as lap number 1's gonna end. Here comes Gatlin Downey looking for 3rd underneath Garrett Sidner. He's got a full-on head of steam, and this track, a lot of straight line speed, a lot of straightaway, allows a lot of slipstreaming here. And right now, Gatlin Downey trying to demonstrate that. Makes a move on the inside, but Garrett Sidner fighting back up top, but the 55 will clear. But Daniel Day looking otherwise. Here he goes down the inside underneath his teammate for the race lead. Caesar side by side gives plenty of space. Daniel Day does so as well, and he drives it a little bit wide, sends it in way deep into the corner, but Caesar's gonna have the momentum off the exit. But Daniel Day's car just a little bit quicker than that 28 right now here in the early laps, and this is again only a 6-lap dash, so I don't think it's really gonna matter for some of these drivers. Some are just gonna be glad they're running around that 5th to 8th spot, because that's pretty much a good safe zone, and running up front as well is another good safe zone. Daniel Day making a move down to the inside once again, and here he goes. Julio Cesar still giving plenty of space on the defensive though, and Downey's just really lurking in that 3rd position. But look how everybody breaks into the corner. That's how aggressive you've got to be. You've got to make those overtakes as soon as you can. Set them up on the straightaways where you can get a ton of slipstream and just slingshot your way around them, whether it's on the inside or the outside. But right now though, everybody pretty much single file for the time being. Josh Crash looks to the inside. Daniel Day looks to the inside once again for the race lead. And Daniel really just experimenting with his Monster Energy car as well, as they're side by side again through the fast portion of the track. Downey now able to reel in Day with his attempt of going for the race lead. And here he goes down the inside. Meanwhile, you see back there Stratus DePire getting challenged by Sean Art on the inside as well. But Downey full on, head of steam into turn number 1. The Little Caesars machine coming to life here on lap number 3. Daniel Day just shoving his teammate ahead, trying to help Julio Cesar out for position. Patrick Smith continuing to move his way forward. He's looking around. Garrett Sidner for the 6th position. And look at them all scattering around. Julio Cesar still fending off Daniel Day. Downey knows he's got a quicker car as well. Josh Crash chilling in the 4th spot. And Garrett Sidner's just holding on for dear life in that 5th position. Meanwhile, Carter Friesen just chilling in that 7th spot. But Patrick Smith getting into the back of the 63, and he's got a huge head of steam on the outside groove. Here he comes, drag race down the straightaway, and Patrick Smith's gonna be able to beat that 63 car with ease. Muscle move by Patrick Smith, but the lead again is on. Downey tried to make a move for 3rd, and here he goes down the bottom. He's actually looking for 2nd on Daniel Day. Day tried to make the move for the lead, but couldn't get there again on Cesar. Cesar really playing it hard to get here in this race right now. And Downey fighting back on the outside line. That car just so strong, and he's actually gonna clear Daniel Day. What a pass by Gatlin Downey. Josh Crash looking for more here in this 59 car, and certainly trying to put that veteran experience now into play. And this 59 team has really struggled all year long, but couldn't get around Daniel Day that time around. And here comes Patrick Smith, full on head of steam, and look at the straight line speed that 29 car is going to get. 4 laps are now going to play here. Gatlin Downey makes a move to the inside. Cesar gives the space side by side for the lead once again. In terms of the transfer spot, Alexa Lucian has just launched her way up towards the 12th position, and Stratus DePire is now in danger, as well as Shane Eves. A little bit of a tussle up back here near the mid-pack area. Lars Van Schaik, Sean Art, contact made between the two of them. Kyle Keith now on the inside. Lars driving it off the track. She's gonna slide him right into Sean Art, and both of them are gonna go into the outside wall. And both Fitzwater Racing Team cars are now gonna sit in 11th and 12th. And for Shades and Stratus DePire, that is huge for them. They're gonna be the big winners off, while the battle for the lead is going to hit up once again. Here comes Gatlin Downey back down towards the bottom, but Cesar with the high side momentum is gonna hold his ground. But Daniel Day, Patrick Smith, and Josh Crash are still right behind him. They are just waiting to attack. Crash on the inside, Smith on the outside, but Crash couldn't get there that time around. Garrett Sidner, Carter Friesen, they're just kind of on their own little island, but Kyle Keith and Bobo Jones are just trying to find something to get around those guys as well. But meanwhile, in terms of the damaged cars, there they are, 77 and 33, heavy damage to both their cars, and they're really just hoping for a miracle for some other drivers to get swept up in some late race carnage. Bobo Jones making a move on Kyle Keith, but Keith shuts the door, and that's going to give him some breathing space here. Josh Crash on the back bumper of Patrick Smith. Gatlin Downey beginning to close in on Julio Cesar once again here. makes a move down to the inside once again into turn number 1. This has been the golden spot for overtaking for Gatlin Downey, but Caesar fights back on the top side, still neck and neck, both of them looking pretty even on the racetrack. But look at the momentum it allows for Daniel Day and Patrick Smith to join in on the party. Josh Crash again also lurking their way in. A 5-car race for the lead. And Gatlin Downey swings it wide into the grass. He's going to go up the hill and into Daniel Day. But both of them keep it straight. As Daniel Day now the beneficiary. He's going to try and move up to second with Downey on the outside line. Day shuts the door, sends it on the inside. He's going to get the spot. But look at the run. Downey and Smith are going to get down the straightaway. They're gonna go. Will Patrick Smith make a move to the inside? No, he won't. A little bit of contact there. Crash actually put a bumper to the 37, and that's gonna allow Downey to get some breathing space. He's actually gonna lurk his way up to second, and Crash now making a full send into the corner for third. Lucian now on the charge. She is right behind Bobo Jones's back bumper. This Crunchyroll machine has been looking very good on the racetrack right now. Garrett Sinner fading backwards in this run, but really they're just safe, so I think they're playing the big picture. They know what they can fix for the upcoming event here shortly. But you see there, Julio Caesar, Gatlin Downey, 1 and 2, while the battle for third rages on. Daniel Day gets some breathing room here. And here they come towards the white flag. One more lap to go here in the LCQ. Downey making a move to the inside for the race lead once again. Will it stick this time around? Yes, it will. Downey makes a great pass into turn number 1. Set him up beautifully here. But will Julio Caesar put the fight back in that number 28 car? Caesar trying to get the slipstream, but Downey's car pulling away just a little bit here. This is going to be huge for Gatlin Downey's confidence here. And right now, he is the main dog to beat. Daniel Day in third, getting pressured by Josh Crash and Patrick Smith. Meanwhile, though, Bobo Jones drove it a little bit wide. Alexa Lucian on the outside. Huge head of steam from the 26 car. And really, Garrett Sinner kind of bottling up the field right behind him with Carter Friesen, Kyle Keith, and Alexa Lucian and Bobo Jones going at it. Meanwhile, though, Ard falling backwards, Lars moving forward, but they're so far back, I don't think it's really gonna matter. Meanwhile, though, back up front, Crash fending off Patrick Smith. Smith trying to find one final lunge on this 59 car. Downey looking like he's just getting a lot of spacing ahead of him and the 28 car. Daniel Day just sitting in third, but 3 dodges, 1 through 3 here. Downey for Great Lakes Motorsports with the 2 Monster Energy cars in hot pursuit. Gatlin Downey really just has to mind his P's and Q's here. And for Gatlin Downey, he's really trying to put on a statement, trying to show that he's got what it takes in the FBRL and that he deserves a competitive ride here. And here they come towards the final set of corners. Gatlin Downey's number 55 is going to find victory lane here in this LCQ. Gatlin Downey is going to take the checkered flag here. He's going to advance to the main event, as well as the rest of the top 12. There is Julio Caesar, Daniel Day, Josh Crash will make it into the show, Patrick Smith there as well. There's Sidner, Friesen, the 2 young cars of Keith and Jones, and there's Alexa Lucian, your top 10, but the other 2 that make it in are Eves in the 81 and Stratus DePire in the 56. So congrats to those guys that make it into the show, but Lars Van Schaik and Sean Ard will not advance to the main event. Tough break for the Fitzwater Racing Team, heartbreak for them. All 3 of their cars look to make it in, but it looks like it just wasn't meant to be. We'll take a look at the replay here, but other than that, this marks the end of the LCQ here in Hawaii. So here's what happened between the Fitzwater Racing cars of Shake and Ard. The 2 made contact, and great save by the 33, but by then it just ruined the rhythm for the Hogs machine, and they were just battling it out with Kyle Keith. Keith gives plenty of space, but Lars just swings it wide. You just see the angle that she puts it in, and then basically just drives it off into the gravel trap, and just little to no traction in that number 33, and then watch that car slide up the hill, just so upset by then, and just clips the 77, and both of them go spinning and into the outside barrier. Both of them go and out of the transfer spots, just like that, within the blink of an eye. Big plot twist for them, but for these two drivers of Ease and Stratus Tire, it was a saving grace for both of them, because their speed was not looking as good as the 77s and the 33s, but for them, the opportunity awaits in the main event, as well as for the other 10 drivers. Bobo Jones is actually pretty lucky to also avoid that carnage there. He had a very close call with those two crashing out in front of him. But for the rest of the drivers that didn't crash out and made it into the show, they've got an opportunity, they've got more practice, and they might use this to their advantage, because we could see them prosper well in the main event. Thank you all for listening in and watching the LCQ from Flag to Flag coverage. We're hoping you tune in for the main event of Hawaii.